Hi, welcome to another Harvest LA Daily Devotions. Today is Wednesday, February 17th. My name is Jeremy, and today I'll be reading from Matthew chapter 14, verses 13 to 21. If you'd like to follow along with me today, I'll be reading from the ESV. So, verse 13. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a desolate place by himself. But when the crowds heard it, they followed him on foot from the towns. When he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them and healed their sick. Now when it was evening, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a desolate place, and the day is now over. Send the crowds away to go into the villages and buy food for themselves." But Jesus said, "They need not go away. You give them something to eat." But they said to him, "We have only 5 loaves here and 2 fish." And he said, "Bring them here to me." Then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass, and taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and said a blessing. Then he broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. And they all ate and were satisfied. And they took up 12 baskets full of the broken pieces left over. And those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. So the story of the feeding of 5,000 is one of great significance. It is the only miracle performed by Jesus that is recounted in all 4 Gospels. And in this story, God not only reveals himself to us, but he also highlights some of the qualities and the attributes that we should exemplify in our everyday lives. In the beginning of the passage, we learn of Jesus' compassion. Despite the grief from learning of John the Baptist's beheading, Jesus responds with compassion by healing the sick and feeding the hungry. And while Jesus initially responds by withdrawing to a solitary place to mourn, God demonstrates that he is present and he is ready to respond to our needs when we cry for help. We are not alone. As we continue in the passage, we learn that there is no problem too big for our God to handle. Despite the disciples' lack of faith and trust in him, God continues to show compassion and grace for his people. By feeding the hungry to their satisfaction and having 12 basketfuls of leftover pieces, he demonstrates he can not only meet our needs, but exceed our expectations. We must never believe that our skills, our talents, our resources are too little to serve God. He can transform the ordinary things in our lives to create something truly extraordinary. In these times, you may be feeling insignificant, lost, or unheard, but God recognizes your pain, your struggles, and needs. He is always present and ready to respond with compassion and love. We just need to ask in faith, and he will surely deliver. I hope this passage today brings encouragement to you and your family. And I want to wish you guys all well during this time. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys next time.